Anyways,
I don't know what that means.
You can cut that out.
new music. What else dropped? That was good. Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. Have you listened to the tape?
Nope.
Me neither.
Have you?
Nah.
Okay. Can we just have a wider conversation about her? Maybe.
I mean, it seems kind of ignorant.
I don't want to go in detail.
We can't talk about the music.
Yes,
we can't talk about the music. We can talk about her.
But we can talk about the music we've heard.
What have you heard from her?
Espresso and the other shit. Please, please, please.
Okay.
And I just see the motion that she's having.
Okay.
And we did listen to Taste.
Yeah. Taste.
And we listen to Taste.
I just want to talk about the pop music space for a second because it's very interesting to me.
Okay. I just do want to preface this and make sure we lead with the fact that we've only listened to 2 songs from her.
Yeah, bro.
Because it's like think about somebody having a conversation about
this
Drake.
Is so afraid, bro.
No, I'm not afraid.
Who are you afraid of?
I'm not
Who
afraid.
gonna come at you?
I just think
bro?
I'm afraid of getting mad at you because if you're gonna say something about the music
so
that I know you haven't heard.
An assumption.
That I know you haven't heard.
That's on you for making an assumption.
But we can talk. We can talk.
That's on you for making.
You know what I'm saying? Think about if somebody had only heard Humble and fucking Good Kid, Mad City, or not Good Kid, Mad City. If they only heard those 2 songs and they try to talk about Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean? It's like, take that with a grain of salt.
I'm definitely a guest in the pop music space. I'll leave it at that. Like I don't listen to a lot of pop music.
Who are we pandering to right now? What are we doing like this, bro? We don't have to preface everything like this, bro. We good.
What are you talking about,
We're
bro?
Good. We can talk about it with
nigga. I said I'm making
Go
a
ahead.
joke, bro. I am telling you that I don't listen to pop music, and I'm not saying that for any camera. I'm literally telling you that how the fuck am I gonna talk about this?
You're a guest. My bad.
I'm saying that I'm seeing that shit all over the charts, and it baffles my mind because when I listen to these songs, they're good songs, but I couldn't imagine listening to it all the time. I think Espresso is a well-written song. I think Please, Please, Please is. I actually like Taste because I like the messaging of it. It's a little bit more edgy. But like, I don't really
enjoyed that message.
I did.
That was your bag.
I didn't, but I personally don't get the Sabrina Carpenter and the Chappell Roan thing that's going on right now. I think I understand the country music wave a little bit more because I like that music. But yeah, I don't know. It's not really for me. Especially in the Charlie XCX stuff too. Like, again, well, you might get it more. I don't get it personally. I listened to Brat in full, and I just like didn't like any song but Apple. So,
yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I liked Brat like that either. Okay, and I am a fan of Charlie XCX. You know what I mean? But
it's not a Brat summer for you.
It was not a Brat summer for me. It was a Chappell Roan summer for me.
I
was going down to the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club.
What I wanted to talk about was just how this is a testament to artist development.
Yeah,
and I think it's really, really dope to see.
Yeah.
I think that Sabrina Carpenter has been around for a minute. Chappell Roan has been around for a minute. Charlie's been around for a minute. And when they're able to kind of be so culturally relevant and make quality music at the same time, that's, to me, not my favorite, not something I'm going to go listen to all the time or rush to go listen to. But I have to hear about it from not only like fans of theirs, but like tastemakers now at this point. Like, that's valid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're making the ideal pop music. This is what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean when you look at the name of the genre?
Yeah.
So I think that that's just really, really cool to see. And I think that other genres could take a lot of note from that. That there should be less pressure on these artists to kind of have shit figured out when they first get popping a little bit, you know?
Were you going to come in here and hate before I said all that I said?
No.
Or was this always the plan?
This was always
my bad. Hey,
saying,
then I owe you an apology. My bad.
I'm not here. That's what I'm saying. Why would I come in here and be negative? But why?
It's funny.
I mean, I'm not here saying I like it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that it's something that we can peep from it.
Now, something that you just said about artist development with Chappell Roan and Sabrina Carpenter specifically just made me think about the first time I saw both of them and something that they have in common. The first time I saw Sabrina Carpenter was all over TikTok, and it was the viral concert ending things that she would do, where she would improv at the end of her concert. And
what about Disney though?
Huh?
You knew her from Disney though, right? Too.
I didn't. I didn't know she was on Disney.
You guys didn't know she was on Disney?
I've heard, but I didn't know her from that.
I had no idea.
Nah, that was the first time I'd ever seen her.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the first time I'd ever seen her were the viral concert enders, where she would input the name of the city and do like a little kind of mischievous outro bar about the city and about some guy. You know what I mean? The first time I saw Chappell Roan was the Lollapalooza set. So the fact that the first time I'm getting visibility on these people are because they are already like a live music phenomenon where their fans are showing out and buying tickets and posting reels of how good these performances are before they break like crazy and hit the top 10 and hit the charts. I think that speaks to me about development and where you develop first, at least in the pop space, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to be successful.
I think the bigger thing too is that you have to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know, like they're all characters.
Yeah.
And in rap, I feel like, or even R&B, like mysterious was too popular. You know?
Yeah.
Like I think we need a little bit more of that type of vibe. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that that's really, really cool that they're popping though. I'll listen to, what's her album called? Short and Sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have to report back. Are y'all going to listen to it ever? Be honest.
I probably won't listen to the whole thing.
No, I don't think so.
There's other things I want to listen to.
But you do like Chappell Roan.
I like Chappell Roan more than Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter to me makes real like cookie cutter pop music.
Yeah.
Whereas Chappell Roan pushes the boundaries a little bit, tries different things to me. And that's what I like. You know what I mean?
And what did you think about Charlie?
I've always liked Charlie, and I like 360 and I like Apple. Yeah, I never got into Brat this summer, and I did listen to the album. I only listened to it once. I don't think it's necessarily my vibe.
I've heard songs from all of these, but I actually have to listen to a body of work. I feel like to properly comment because I could come here spicy.
Yeah,
you never know.
Well, what do you think about the Billboard Hot 100 right now?
I really don't know what's on it, to be honest with you.
So it starts with Shabuzi. He's had the top spot for weeks.
Okay, and
then you have Post Malone, Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
I could be fucking up the order, but I know we also have Not Like Us on there.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby.
Still?
Yep.
Fire.
Please, Please, Please. Espresso. The Chappell Roan song that's going. And then it rounds out with Teddy Swims and Hozier at the bottom.
Oh, wow. That's
weak.
Why is it weak?
It's a really, I don't know. I was going to come and make my hot take about how weak it is. And then I looked at it and I'm like, okay, there is a little bit of star power here. There are some good songs, but it feels so stale. Like this is the same top 10 that we had like a month and a half ago. Like none of these songs are new. You know what I mean? Like we desperately need somebody to drop a hit. $1 Million Baby's still there. The Shabuzi song's been going for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the only new thing is
nothing feels like hot right now.
There's nothing hot right now.
It has been the same for a minute. I mean, who's dropping? The Weeknd maybe at the end of the year?
It's scary right now. It's scary in music, to be honest. It seems like if you look at first week numbers and you look at how much money and you look at the actual business and all the mergers and everyone that's losing jobs, that has been losing jobs all summer. And I don't know, I was listening to Joe and them talk about it because I was like, okay, maybe I'm new to the music industry. Maybe this is an annual, recycle, all that. But they're like, no, this whole shit is changing. We're about to be in the midst of one of the biggest changes where all these roles are getting redefined. You know what I mean? And I think it starts with the artist not dropping as consistently. You know what I mean? Like they were talking about Atlantic and they're like, what happens when Cardi B doesn't drop for 6 years? You know what I mean? Somebody that's supposed to keep the lights on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, artist development is back. You have to make stars.
Yeah.
You have to make the best. You know what I mean? Someone has to come out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Do your fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, let's lock in. You know what I mean? I think that shit is spicy, but like it has to be. That's the nature of the industry in of itself, to me.
Can you speak more on artist development and why you think it's back? Like, I don't get what you're saying.
I don't think that people are ready-made stars. I don't think people are ready-made to be on the top 100 when they get buzz. Mm-hmm. I think that buzz is made to be maintained and then grow. Mm-hmm. But like you can't just shoot up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could do it with virality. You know what I mean? But it's not sustainable for a long term. To me, I think that you have to create someone who knows how to make a song, work the song, make an album, tour the album, and do it all over again. In the midst of the right look socially, the right conversation pieces, the right interviews, letting people know a little bit more about them as a human being, not fucking their money up. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that take years and years of training. That's why Chris Brown is selling out fucking arenas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the necessity for people to actually work with the artists that they sign and bet. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to give these kids all this money at such a young age, invest in them for the person they're going to become at 24 years old when they're 18. You know what I mean? Like Netspend, Hollis. They're acts with a lot of like noise and shit going on right now, but they're nowhere near the finished product that they're gonna be eventually. So when you bet on them to become that, you can't just bet on them and then leave them alone. You know what I mean? They might crash out.
Yeah.
Not to say either of them will. I pray, like, you know what I mean? They go up, whatever. But for them to get to where you are expecting them to go, you have to really put in the manpower, put in the time and the effort. And I think that during the TikTok era, when people didn't know what was happening and these kids were gaining this following so fast, people didn't have to do their job. They were just like post on TikTok and it would go up. That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So like to make money, to keep the lights on, like you said, if you want the next Cardi B, if Cardi B isn't dropping, you got to work with her.
I agree with everything you're saying, except I don't see it happening. I think the landscape is calling for it, but I see the lights going off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see the industry being cut, companies being merged. And I'm like, I don't think artists are being developed. Like, who besides like Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan, which you brought up, are like good examples of rising artists that were being developed well right now?
But they just got here. I think Doechie's about to pop.
You were talking about all the problems with the rollout and how disjointed it was and how confusing it was to a fan on the reaction.
No, I wasn't. I said that what I'm afraid of. I don't think it's actually happening. This is just me as like a concerned Doechii fan because I love her music and want for her to blow up.
Yeah.
But me and Osei were talking and I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm still behind her 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the music industry is just a little bit too reactionary. You know what I mean? Like all these changes that we're talking about are probably happening because of changes in technology.
Yeah.
And like where everything's shifting with that. And I don't think people that, and you know, granted, a lot of people are creatives and artists and like their brains don't necessarily like work like that or like tune in to like what's happening in tech and the changes that are happening. I mean, obviously we talk a lot about AI in the industry and how that's changing things, right? Like, have we ever really discussed the fact that Drake dropped an AI song and Metro's diss to him was also an AI song too? And then Drake remixed that shit and got it cleared. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to start to see people sampling. We're going to start to see people sampling using AI.
Yeah.
And that cuts out a whole part of the process of like actually making the music. The producer now becomes somebody that's just good at making music with AI. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm not even talking to the camera. I'm not making a coherent point.
No, it is. It is coherent. I just think that...
Yeah. I don't even know where we're going to chop that. To be honest.
No, that made sense.
It made sense.
Yeah. I just think that there's going to be a lot of relearning. Yeah. And I think that people who, it sucks. It's terrible that people lose their jobs. You know what I mean? I think they can, I can transparently say I was affected by that shit, you know, earlier in the year. I think that people who love this music shit for real are going to make something shake. Mm-hmm. And I think that independence is always the key to everything. You know, so like you're going to take your tips and tricks that you've learned throughout the years and they're going to make something shake. Or it could be in another corporate environment, you know, but I think the real music heads are always going to find a way, you know, but it sucks. It's terrible and it's unfortunate, but I don't think that they're just going to like dip out of the industry completely. Yeah. To me, you know what I mean? And they may get into situations that are better for them.
As long as there's enough of the pie still, which is what I'm talking about. With streaming and with first week and new music consumption way down, as long as there is enough revenue generated from new musics from these streaming platforms to employ a whole workforce of
from
people.
what I see, my vantage point at least, everyone is clamoring for new music that's good. Mm-hmm. Everyone is fiending for new artists that are good and talented and are going to be these stars. And they're leaning on people to work together and develop them and help find, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there is a starvation for young talent and I think it's out there. Mm-hmm.
But that's just a feeling. You've seen first week numbers. And you've seen the trend of first week sales over the last 5 years. And you can see the actual data that shows that consumption on new music is way down. Okay. That's my point that I'm making, that it's scary for the industry when new music is not generating the same amount of revenue. And you already have a revenue model that is not as profitable, not half as profitable as the music industry used to be when we were selling D2C. Okay. You know,
we're also seeing fucking like Taylor Swift and Beyonce sell out fucking crazy arenas. You know what I mean? Like there is potential money in music. Yeah. You just have to, you got to make better artists. You know what I mean? To be honest, You have to break artists better. You have to tell artists stories better. I just think that there's things that we could do internally to improve within the industry. If we want to make this shit survive, you know what I mean? There has to be adjustments.
Yeah.
There has to be
I
think that we have to go through an uncomfortable growth period to get where we're going. You know what I mean? The NBA has fucking lockout seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like shit could get really, really scary to the point where like, bro, niggas have not played 82 game seasons.
And now that is what probably needs to happen.
You know?
Is the artists need to lock out.
Bro, the government shuts down.
Yeah.
Like shit can get scary, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That just can mean that change is coming.
Yes, and so that's what artists need to do.
And I guess I'm not afraid because going to your point with the AI shit, the AI shit hasn't hit all the way.
Yeah.
Until AI makes a hit song, I'm not worried about it. Right now, we got real people, real human beings that we're looking for to make good music. That's where my concern's at. That's on the horizon. And you have to think about it. But
yeah, I think AI was just an example. Like it's like I think for actual people's jobs, like there's just gonna be a whole shift. Because when you talk about artist development, right?
Yeah.
I think that like in the digital space and in the marketing space, you have to work harder to get those like viral moments. It's like you said, it's like in 2020 when TikTok first came out, it was a disruptor and caused this whole short form wave that we see across YouTube Shorts and Reels and all that different type stuff. Like it was super easy to get like a viral moment or like a viral hit song. Yeah. Which is why, to your point, people kind of took steps or skipped steps in the artist development process. But now in digital, because there's so many different platforms and everybody does short form now, you kind of have to develop yourself online too, in a sense. And I think that's gonna be more widespread, right? Yes. Like it's gonna permeate outside of the digital space and go to everything else, like publicity, what's it called? Probably into the music production making process too. So that's a big part of artist development now too.
Like, you know, like Shabuzi too. Like we named like 3 people on the Billboard Top 100 that had their moment this last 12 months.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Like that's cool. Like I think that like it's possible still. You know what I mean? And we are seeing proof of concept when people really do that and invest in people and give them the right team and take time to really personalize an approach. It works.
I mean, he's been working for a minute too. You know,
Shabuzi,
with several different labels and teams and all that. Like,
you know?
So yeah, the spot that he has right now at number 1 is well deserved because he's been working years to get it.
And none of this shit is overnight, bro. That's kind of the misconception that I just would love to like. And I think it's kind of dying. Yeah. The overnight celebrity is not real.
Yeah.
Tommy Richmond even, bro. You know what I mean? We forgot about him being in there, bro. Like that's not even overnight, bro. That nigga's been making music, bro.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, there's hope for everyone.
I think there's
I'm very hopeful.
And I think I also look at things through a hip hop lens because that's what we like. And I guess I'm more speaking on the problem with like hip hop development.
We have to take what they're doing and apply it to hip hop.
Yeah.
Apply it to R&B. You know what I mean? That's why I said what I said at the top of the year about Homegirl who did the Nobody Knows Me.
Oh, Money Long.
Money Long. She's another testament to artist development, the same way like Victoria Monet is. And I think that like, I don't know. Hopefully she has something coming, but like if that shit would have cracked off, you know what I mean, a little earlier, she could have really capitalized on that song, bro. Like that would have been a crazy moment for us, bro. I don't know. We have to learn from this shit that's working. Hopefully we will. What else dropped? Positive shit.
Cash Cobain.
Did you all listen to the full project?